friends, how's it going? David Potts with Song Notes here, and I want to make a video about playing open chords throughout the key of A. When I mean throughout the key of A, what I mean is you have your A major and your D major and your E major in the key of A, which are all open chords. But what about that B minor, right? And what about that C sharp minor? Is there a way to play these two chords open in the same way as the D and the E and the A? So what I'm going to do is talk about how you could basically play all these chords, right? The A, the B minor, the C sharp, the D, the E, and we're going to leave the 5th string and 1st string open in all those chords. So we're really only going to push down on our frets on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string, okay? And this is actually answering a question that came in after a recent lesson I did of the same sort of thing in the key of E, right? Where I was going from E to F sharp minor, to G sharp minor, to A, and to B, where I kept the 6th, 2nd, and 1st strings open for all of those chords, right? And the question was, can you do that in any other chord? So I think the key of A came to mind. And the reason why is basically in an A major chord, right? The root chord of that key, your 5th string and your 1st string are open. So what would it sound like if we basically, only press down the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string? So the B minor then would look like this, right? It's basically an A minor shape, if you know an A minor, right? But all we're doing is moving up these 3 fingers 2 frets, right? So we basically have 3rd fret on the B string and then 4th fret on the G string and D string, okay? And again, let's keep the 5th and 1st string open. So we get this kind of sound, right? So going from this A to this B minor, right? It has a nice sound. It actually sounds almost like you're going from this A to... This is a voicing that is a modification of an A that you use in lots of songs. It sounds like that, right? From this A to this B minor. And the cool thing about the C sharp minor is, again, it's this same shape that you use in the B minor that comes from this A minor shape that you're moving up to basically the 5th and 6th frets. A bit of dissonance there, but it's okay. I think it sounds good enough, especially when you use it in conjunction with these other chords. Because you have, when you have this these notes droning for all the chords, it just adds a nice consistency. It reminds me of like a Joni Mitchell or something where she's using, it sounds like guitars and stuff on the regular album recordings, but she's playing a dulcimer or some kind of exotic instrument, and there's lots of, it sounds like open tunings where there's like droning strings and all the chords that are being played. So what I'm talking about is... When I do that, you get the suggestion of the swell. Right? You hear that going up and coming back down, but you also have this droningness of the 1st and the 5th string. Now let's keep going up, right? What about the D and the E? So for the D, basically, we would take this shape, 5, 7, 7, 7, and for the E, it's 7, 9, 9, 9. But all we're going to worry about is the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string, like I said. So basically, however you play the A major chord, whether you do it basically, in a triangle shape, that's what I do, where I basically have middle finger, index finger, ring finger here. Or maybe you play it like this, with your fingers just in a row. I have trouble getting them all to fit like this, but so I do this triangle method. Either one, though, all you're going to do is slide this same shape up from the 2nd fret on the A major to the 7th fret for the D. So open, 7, 7, 7, open. Okay? Kind of sounds like a D sus2 because you have this open E, right? So that's the D. And the E is the same thing, just open, 9, 9, 9, open, right? Okay? So now one simple thing we could do is just go from this A to the D, to the E, back to the D, and go back to the A, right? This is a 1 to the 4, and up to the 5. And you just kind of do a cycle of those, and it's going to sound good, right? Now, where do we take it from there? A couple things. One is you could go 1 chord higher beyond the E, which is to this the 6th chord, it's a minor chord, in A in the key of A, this is an F sharp minor, okay? So this is based on basically this shape, right? This. If we were doing a bar chord, like an A minor shaped bar chord, where we're barring the 9th fret, you know, and that's another way to play the F sharp minor, which you could also play down here, right? But again, we're just gonna do, in the spirit of this openness, we're gonna take that A minor shape, the same shape we're using on the B minor and the C sharp minor, and we're gonna move it up here and do open, 11, 11, 10, open. Now this one is good to couple with the D and the E, or excuse me, the E and the D, right? Maybe we go back up and you repeat that, right? So back to the F sharp minor, right? And so on and so forth, right? So that's one thing you can do. So then basically from the bottom up, you have the A, you have the B minor, the C sharp minor, the D, the E, and now this F sharp minor, okay? Now, a couple things that are really cool. One is this alternate voicing for the A major, for the root, where basically we're gonna do this. This is a nice, very approachable chord. What we're doing basically is taking this 5th fret bar chord of an A major. We're basically not gonna press down on the 6th string or the 5th string or the 1st string. All we're gonna do is push down these 3 notes. Okay, on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string, that's 7th, 6th, and 5th fret. And then normally, this open 5th string would be the bass note of this chord, and you could leave the E string open. And even outside of this exercise, this would be a perfectly valid A chord, the same way that this is, right? Sounds great. So this can be a handy home bass when you go to the D and the E. Whoop, messed up. Let's try that again. I'm gonna go back down to the C sharp minor, the B minor, and the A, okay? So what's interesting there especially is the C sharp minor voicing we're doing in the A sound very similar. It's almost like just the bass notes going down one note. One more time. So yeah, I think going down, this actually sounds more satisfying. Okay, that's one little throughway we could do. I also talked about this A to the D to the E and back to the D, and then you could rest that back at the A, okay? So this A are both good, nice foundation points. And then the final voicing of A that I have to call out here when I'm just doing this in the spirit of all these little fun voicings you could do is if you took this D shape, D major shape, right, and you move this all the way up to the, not 7, 8, 7, that would be a G, but it's that plus 2 frets, which is 9, 10, 9, right? That's an A major. Those are all A major chord notes. Now, with this 4th string, we have to do something about. You could just put, your pinky down and play the 5th fret. So that's an A major voicing. I don't find this terribly comfortable to do. Lots of times you'll see basically this voicing where you're barring. It's the same notes I just played, but you're barring the 9th fret with your index finger, just the thinnest 3 strings or so, right? And then you put down your middle and your ring finger down on the the 10th and the 11th frets here. So this is another voicing of A major, right? That goes nicely to an E and back to a D. That's a really cool transition here, this A to the E, because this note, this finger staying totally still. And that's actually, I think, the Jack and Diane song by John Cougar Mellencamp, right? I think it opens with something like this. Right? It's basically going from an A to an E, A, E, D, right? That's a fun song. While I have you here, I'll give you a little tease. I've always wanted to make this lesson, but that song, there's all kinds of cool little riffs. There's lots of triad stuff going on, right? Okay, that's going from just A to E to D to E, right? You're repeating that. Then you have this. So I'm going to make a lesson for that another time. But basically, what I want to show you here in this lesson is, let's take the key of A, let's take those chords that are in the key of A, but do the open voicings for them, right? Lots of fun to be had. They're easier to play, number one. They have somewhat of a distinct, unique sound compared to, just your regular chord voicing. So that can just make things funner to play. It can maybe grab the audience's ear in a way that the normal conventional chord voicings might not, right? And it's, if nothing else, when you're just picking up your guitar and practicing, I find it just fun and refreshing to do something different, mix up the sounds. I can get to sort of get you out of the usual loops and routines, which sometimes can be a bit like confining when you're trying to break free and be creative and go into new territories and stuff, right? So there we have it, friends. Thanks for watching. This has been David Potts. Remember, you can check out playsongnotes.com for just some tabs and stuff for this lesson, for all my other lessons as well. And it's a great resource if you want to practice along with what I just showed you. Check out that the website. The link's in the description of this video, playsongnotes.com. And there is, of course, as always, a link to a PDF printout that I make of those notes and tabs sort of in a handcrafted sort of format. So thanks to all of you who support me on Patreon. I hope you're enjoying those printable lessons I'm making there. Also, thanks to all of you who have sent tips in my tip jar on my website. It's tremendously appreciated and really inspires me to keep going with these lessons. I'm recording this on New Year's Day in 2019. I'm really feeling renewed and excited to keep rocking with this, my Song Notes project, into 2019 and beyond. But again, thanks to all of you who are supporting me in whichever way you do. But this has been David Potts. I'm going to shut this off now. Have a great night, y'all. Bye-bye.